God. Fine. So as you know, whenever any industry got project, this project is going to be high level decided whether it is going to be a web application or a standalone application or a desktop application. So what does it mean? What is the meaning of desktop application? So desktop application is something which was initially used, and in core Java, there is a two concept called swings and applet. Have you heard about it?
No.
No, right? Let me show you what was swings and applet. So if you search in Google, swing in Java. Okay, so usually now this day, whenever you are designing a page, you are using HTML, right? So these all page are a part of HTML. How can we know that? Right click on this and click on view page source. So if you look at this page source, you can see here this is a completely HTML file. So these all code are for that page. Similarly, in the olden days when people were there, they were using the core Java swing concept to design a UI. You want to see the login page design in applet swings? Look at this. It was coming something like this, you know. If you look at the other registration form, something like this, it was like this. So this was completely developed in core Java. There is no Spring, there is no Hibernate, there is no HTML, there is no JavaScript. Everything was in the core Java only. But it's not looks very fancy, right? It is especially required when people were using a small amount of software. Have you ever seen a billing software in any shopping mall? Have you seen that? The people are
Yes,
scanning
yes,
and then putting
yes,
the product. Yeah, that's called
yes.
desktop application.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the example of desktop application. So if you go there and if you look at their screen, you will find something like this only. So they have their design something like this, button, etc. Well, so initial days, whenever the requirement was coming, people were thinking we have to design desktop application. Then they start using this applet things. So whenever I say desktop application, remember it was old technology, old design.
Mm-hmm.
Now this day nobody's using. Now what people
Mm-hmm.
are using now this day? After applet things, people start using the web application. What is web application? A web application is an application which is always working in browser, or I can say on internet. Web stands for internet, right? So whatever application is working on internet is called web application. So then after people start using that, Spring, MVC, HTML, JavaScript, Servlet, JSP, XML, these all concept came once the people start using the web application. So if you look at the web application example, everything is now this web application only. So whatever project, whatever website you are able to see, these all are web application, right? So even though if I go to Java T point, Java T point. So if you open this Java T point website, then this is one of the web application. The reason is this website is opening in browser. So they have designed this page with the HTML, then they must have used JavaScript. So this kinds of application like Facebook, Google, whatever website, whatever company even preparing their application for their user interface, that's called web application. Clear? Understanding?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. But technology not stopped there. People realize that there is not always a requirement of UI. When you need to give UI, when people have to navigate navigate from one page to other page. But think about a software which is just asking you, give me the Excel sheet. Think about the salary credit in any organization. Yeah. So salary credit is a process where you have to give the list of employee and what salary have to be credited, what is the account number, what is the all this information you have to give. And then after you have to just start the process, start the job. So that you can easily do by the command line. When I say command line, it's nothing but it's CMD,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes.
this is CMD. So here you have a lots of options, right? You know that. So somebody wants,
Mhm.
I will just type here Java hyphen jar and some jar name, whatever is there. And this jar is one of the software, I can say one of the services, one of the job is there developed in Java. And what this job will do, the moment you start it, it will start reading your Excel sheet one by one and start crediting the salary to the particular account number of employee.
Mhm.
So for this process, probably we don't need UI. And that's where the people start talking about the stand-alone application. What is that? Stand-alone application. So now this day, whatever industry you will see, they all are using the standalone application. What does it mean? It means this particular application is alone going to work. Like they don't need any further other application to work. So all the microservices in the world of microservices, people are developing a standalone application. And the tool, the technology they are using is a Spring Boot. So definitely the hot topic in industry is a Spring Boot, but still I told you that learning a Spring framework will give you a very good understanding, a depth knowledge of a Spring Boot, because a Spring Boot is doing lots of things behind the scene. So if you don't know very clearly what is a Spring framework, you might be not able to debug the any problem properly, or
Mhm.
you might not be able to solve your exception and error in a Spring Boot. So it's highly recommended to start with a Spring framework rather than Spring Boot directly.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
we're going to talk about right now web application, which is a part of a Spring framework. And again, when I will come to a Spring Boot, then we will talk about the standalone application or production ready application. So what is this? We will be discussing in more details about microservices, uses, architecture, everything in upcoming things. But yes, the application is three categories: desktop, web application, and standalone. So that part is clear with you, Sana?
Yes, it is clear.
There is some more part, like now these days people are having the Lambda kinds of function that's called, uh, function as a service. Similarly, you have a SOS, right? Software as a service, software as a service, software as a service, SaaS.
Mm.
We have a SaaS. In
Mhm.
short, it is saying SaaS. Then we have I infrastructure as a services, that cloud and all. Then we have function as a services. So if you talk about FAS, fast. So this fast kinds of application is very different things. In fact, you don't need to have a Java jar, anything like that. Rather than you just have a small function like AWS Lambda. I don't know whether you heard about it or not. If you go to the cloud technology and if you talk about AWS Lambda, then you will be going to learn what is Lambda, what is all these things.
Mhm.
So in this infrastructure, probably you don't need anything, no server required. It is completely serverless. It means you just write your Java function public void test,
Mm.
and that's all. So the industry is moving like this. Anyway, now when people started talking about web application, they were knowing the main core engine would be either Java or either .NET or C Sharp or different programming languages are there. But since we are learning Java, so under Java, core Java is definitely required. Doesn't matter whatever application you are developing in Java, each application needs Java. That is core Java. So core Java is also known as SE, you know, J2SE, Java to Standard Edition. Then we have a J2EE, Java to Enterprises Edition, and then we have J2ME, Java to Micro Edition. Now this day, initially it was a mobile edition. So the main categories of Java is three: J2SE, Java to Standard Edition, which is also known as Core Java; Java to Enterprises Edition, which is also known as Advanced Java; J2ME, Java to Micro Edition, which is the kinds of Android and all whatever people are talking. You were knowing these all things, Sana?
I don't know the last one.
Oh, so if you type here J2ME, you're gonna learn about it a bit more. Yeah,
Mhm,
Micro Edition is a computing platform and development of portable code for embedded and mobile devices.
mhm.
Hmm? Anyway,
It is.
hmm,
It's like Android.
yeah, you can
Okay.
say that. So it's
Mhm,
mainly for mobile devices, and definitely Android is a operating system for
mhm,
yes. So people whoever is working on Android side, they are considered as a J2ME developer.
mhm.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So today we are not going to discuss about J2ME a lot because we are gonna discuss about J2EE, which is one of the
Mhm,
enterprises edition or advanced Java. These all Spring Framework, Hibernate, all these concepts comes under the advanced Java, like Servlet, JSP, all these things. Well, so whenever we started developing a project, what are the different technology we need? We need a HTML definitely. We need a CSS. We need a JavaScript. We need a Servlet. We need a JSP. We need a Tomcat server. All these things are mandatory and you need it. Now, when we talk about simple web application, so let's say you started working on one of the web application. For example, I can say this e-commerce. Then, while developing this application, you realize that, okay, I need some sort of technology which should work based upon some event. So this is something called different technology called AOP. Suddenly you realize that, oh my God, this for logging purpose, I need one more framework, and that framework is kinds of, I can say, log4j. Then somebody came and say, hey, you also need a security. Yes, definitely. If you're developing a project, you need a security. Suddenly somebody came and they're saying, hey, you need a performance measurement tool. So who is going to do lots of garbage collection and performance related. Somebody came saying, hey, you also need a multi-thread related framework. Okay, multi-thread. So this list is not going to be stopped. it is actually required lots of tools and libraries to develop a one web application. Now, question is, initial days when we were people are developing a web application from servlet and JSP, that time people were going to the third party. Like, you need log4j, yes, go and download the jar file, and then after add into your project. You need security, there is Apache security or different security framework, go there, third party, bring that and put into the your application. Similarly, whatever additional library you need for developing your project, you are going here, there, everywhere to find out what is the suitable library for me. Now, here is the Spring people. This is one of the team, Spring. These people were noticing this all problem, and they thought, oh my God, people need lots of things to do to develop one successful web application. What they actually did, they actually wrapped all these required technology together, and they told, guys, you don't need to bother about different libraries. Rather than, I'm going to give you a framework, a Spring framework, which is a predefined, ready-made framework for you. So now, if you start developing a project in Spring and you are saying, hey, I need log4j, Spring is saying, no need to go outside. I have a log4j for you. I need security. Spring is saying, don't worry, don't go anywhere. I have a Spring security. So like this way, yeah, definitely. I forgot that the database connection, all these things are there.
Nice.
So ultimately, a Spring framework is one of the predefined package, I can say, which is having the lots of module. And then after you start using this, and that is the reason the popularity of Spring framework is, it is having everything what you need for your project development. It is also having the module wise features. So we're gonna talk about these things now in brief, but high level, why we need a Spring framework. This is the answer for this. Clear, Sana?
Yes, yes, it is clear. Yeah.
Super. Let's talk about a bit theory also. The Spring tutorial provides a depth concept, yes. So it is developed by Rod Johnson in 2003. So from 2003, Spring start getting popularity to develop a Java EE application. And trust me, it is really very useful for any industry. Now they have a lots of advantage. We will talk about it slowly. But yes, one of the best advantage of this framework is it is a lightweight framework. Now, what is the lightweight framework? Let's try understanding that term because it's very important. So let's say you want to prepare a Maggie. Maggie is, you know Maggie, Sana?
No.
You don't know? Okay. In India, it is very popular. Let me show you what is Maggie. You must be having noodles kinds of things. Noodles, you know?
Noodles.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes, I know it. I know it. We call it here not Maggie, but Maggi. It's pronounced in French.
Oh, Maggie.
Yes,
We are
I know it.
saying
Yeah,
Maggie.
because it's in English. Yeah.
Okay, so this company advertise called, you will be able to prepare this in 2 minutes.
Mhm.
In 2 minutes you can prepare, see, 2-minute masala noodles. Can you see this? So
Yes.
they're claiming. And imagine somebody, you probably don't know how to prepare Maggie. You hired one person and
Mhm.
you had a cook, and that cook came. What he did, he first of all bring one auto or one tempo, one truck. In that truck, he have a big, what I can say, uh, pots, yes, and then have lots of cylinder. Then they have a lots of gas stove. You will be like, oh my god, I just want a noodles, the Maggie, and this guy bring the whole truck, the full truck of materials, which is actually required for him, but not in that quantity. You will be fed up. Okay, oh my god, I don't want to use this professional for preparing this Maggie. Rather than, I just want Maggie, and it's supposed to be a small stove, one ball, water. That's all. That's the problem. Now, why I'm telling you this? Try to relate it. You started using your Spring framework. Just now I told you, a Spring framework is having a lots of libraries. What a Spring framework is saying you, hey, if you use me, then I will bring all these materials along with me. You are saying, hey, Spring, I just need the security. I don't need other components. But Spring is saying, no, I am a bundle. If I come, I will come along with my all relatives, along with my whole family. But now problem is what? Your application is a very high and high performance application. You want that the moment I click, immediately response would come. But these all libraries, once it will be included inside your application, these all libraries is actually a jar file. Under the jar file, it's having the thousands of classes and interfaces. These all classes and interfaces has loaded into your memory in the sense like RAM, and you found that your application is super slow. Now people are asking you why it is slow. You are saying I'm using Spring Security, but Spring is saying, hey, I have a AOP also, I have a Log4j also, I have a performance tool also, I have a multi-thread. So if your whole application becomes slow because of adding all these things, nobody will using the Spring. They all will tell, no, 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 no. This is very problematic. If I want to use one module, it is saying, no, you have to use everything. Then people should start avoiding a Spring framework. But it's not like that. Good thing is that a Spring framework is a lightweight framework. It means what? It will not force you to use all the libraries all together. It is giving a chance. It is saying, oh, you want just security? You are saying, yes, no problem. These all will be not coming to you. So this is the meaning of lightweight framework. Whenever you are using any framework and they are forcing you to use their libraries, even though you don't need, it means it is a heavyweight framework. Lightweight framework is that which is very fast. It is not having lots of additional classes which is not required by you. That is called heavyweight framework. Have you heard about one more framework is there called struts? Have you heard about this framework?
Yes.
This is one of the heavyweight framework. It means this framework is not having the module. The problem which I was talking right now, you want to use one module, but this struts will bring the complete package to you. And it will tell you, no, you have to use all these things. You have to load these all things. You are saying, no, I don't need these all things. It will say, no, I don't have that module. You don't have any choice. You have to use all these things. And that is the reason struts framework is now this day deprecated. People are not using it, you know. So if you go here, struts versus Spring, the graph will show you the other story. There must be some sort of survey happen where you will see the struts graph is very less, whereas Spring is getting popularity daily by daily. So now you can easily relate that Maggie problem. The person came with all the things and you were fed up now. Oh my God, what the hell this guy is doing for preparing a Maggie? So you don't need additional things which is not required for doing a certain job. This is the very simple fundamental things. I need I need to do some work. I need only things related to that work, not the whole world things. Got the point?
Yes.
Okay. So Spring is a lightweight framework. It means you don't need to bring all the modules together. Now, as you know, Spring framework came in 2003. But before that, also there was a framework. What was the framework? There was a JSF framework. Have you heard about it or not? I don't know. But there
Yes.
was a JSF, Jakarta Server Faces. This is called, this is one of the framework. Then there was a Struts. Then there was a Portlet. There was a different framework available in the industry before Spring. Now, Spring people were very smart. They were knowing if I come with the new functionality, whoever company is going to start their project now from scratch, they must be going to use me. But what about the existing project? Existing project in the sense, let's say there is one company, ABC, they have invest millions of rupees to develop one simple project, but that project is in struts. That company come to know, oh, there is a Spring framework. That framework is very popular and it is very easy to use. They have a high performance. But suddenly their architect is saying, sir, we cannot use this framework because the cost of converting the struts framework to a Spring framework will take a very good amount of time and it will be having the huge cost involved in that. Now company will say, oh my God, I have already my project in struts. I want to go in Spring, but I don't have that level of budget. I don't have the time, lots of things. So what a Spring framework did, this team has told, okay, don't worry. I will give you an option where you can easily convert your struts project into a Spring. Somebody is saying, hey, I'm using the EJB. Spring is saying, don't worry. You can easily convert EJB project into the Spring. Somebody is saying, I'm using JSF. Some Spring is saying, don't worry. I will easily convert your JSF project into a Spring. Wow, such amazing features.
Yes.
That's the reason existing project or the new project, both start coming into the Spring framework. Yes, because Spring is saying, I will support any project in May. There is some steps if you have to follow. If you do that, then a Struts project will be converted into the Spring framework. Okay. Now, so there are very many advantages. We'll talk about some more in the detail right now. But modules, it's very important for us to understand the modules of a Spring framework. As it is a lightweight, so it has divided the complete features in the different modules. And one of the modules is called IOC. This module is also known as a core module of a Spring framework. The main and very important module of a Spring framework is core module, that is IOC. So we have to start with IOC. IOC stands for inversion of control, or people also say that dependency injection. So we will be starting with this module. Then we have a AOP, then we have a DAO, then we have a context, then we have a ORM, then we have a web MVC, then we have a security, then we have a lot of web flow. Lots of modules are there. And Spring is never forcing you. It is saying you just want IOC, no problem. You just take IOC. You also want AOP, let's take a separate part. You don't want AOP, let's remove it. So the idea is here, it is completely plug in, plug out. If you need it, plug in. If you don't need, plug out. But in the old project, it was not so easy. If you want to plug out, then oh my God, you have to change lots of code. You want to add a new library? Yes, you have to do lots of changes because there might be some version is different. You are using Apache, some other project, and that project is having the Java 8. Your project is using Java 9. There is a problem. Now you will not be able to use that. There's a lots of problem, but Spring has resolved all the problems. And best part is that a Spring framework is developed in Java language. So it is a Java front-end framework, you can say. Any questions so far, Sana?
It's clear for me.
It might be a boring for you, but it's very, very important to understand the fundamental.
No, it's not boring. It's
It's not boring.
no, I need this information to refresh my mind.
Yes.
I prefer to start from the basics and know that I didn't skip any point, so I can understand the hard part.
Yes, that's a very good thing. People directly jump into the code and they start talking about
Yes,
code, but they don't know the foundation. And because of
yes,
that, even though you learn Spring, you don't know the benefits. You will be not able to take a decision. If any
yeah,
requirement is coming to your company, you will be confused which framework I have to use, because you don't
yes,
know what is the
exactly.
advantage of this. What are the modules we have in a Spring framework? What is the meaning of lightweight? What is the meaning of performance? If somebody is not knowing all these things, then it is
Yeah,
worst to understand the things in more deeper.
yes,
Anyway,
yeah.
so whatever modules you see in here, it is called as a design pattern also. So each module is one of the design pattern. So design pattern.
Yes.
Yes, so we have a factory design pattern, we have an abstract factory design pattern, we have a singleton design pattern. Similarly, now you can also include upcoming days in interview. Somebody is asking you, what are the design pattern you work? You can also include IOC because this is one of the design pattern. Now let's talk about IOC. Why it is so important and why Spring people are saying it is a core module. It means you are coming to Spring framework, you must have to take IOC. Without IOC, you cannot directly take DAO. You cannot take directly AOP. This is mandatory. This module you must have to include inside your project because it's a core, just like a core Java. Without core Java, you cannot develop any application. Okay. Most of the time, there is a problem with performance. What is the meaning of performance? Performance is you clicked on the website and you clicked on search and it is taking a 1 hour time to load the result of JSF. It's worse, right? That's called the performance problem. So you will see many applications now this day also, they have a very bad performance. You click on registration form and there is just some sort of hang is happening. So hang web page. So if you go to images, you might be seeing the lots of websites which is hanged. you know. So you keep on trying. Look at this page. Can you see here this dot 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 dot? So this is called performance problem. And why it is happening? Performance problem is happening most of the time because of your memory. Memory is one of the biggest things. Have you heard about memory leak?
I heard about it, but just as like a term, but I don't know what is exactly.
Okay, let me make you clear because it's important. Why it's important? Because for your development point of view also, and for interview point of view also, memory leak in the sense, if I go to my code, let's say this is my code, and under my manager 1.java, what I gonna do is in the class, I define a map, static uh, map map equal to new hash map. This is one map. Okay. And now under the main method, I have a for loop. One second. And inside this infinite file while loop, what I'm doing is map.put some sort of, let's talk about I only, and value also I. Let's say somewhere inside your project, you have an infinite. Instead of that, let's have a while loop. You know what? This is one of the infinite while loop. In the sense, there is no condition. So there is no chance this while loop is going to come out anytime. One, or I can say here, int I equal to 0. And inside this, I plus plus. And let's make key and value both as I. So this is one of the infinite while loop. And what exactly this is doing? Under this map, it is keep on storing the data. Right?
Yes.
Getting the point? Now, you started deploying this application in the production. Now you know that after some time, after 1 hour, your application start running. Whenever main method is running, it is start coming into this loop, and it will start filling this map, and this map is inside your memory. There will be a time your map is full, and when map is full, it means your RAM is full. When your RAM is full, your application is hanged because there is no space for further code to be executed. And that's called memory leak. Understood?
So if the memory is full, it means the application will crash.
Yes, definitely. If you run this code inside your any part of your code in your project, your application will crash because it
And the
will be.
crash. Mhm. And the crash of the application is called the memory leak. Means,
Yes, yes,
okay.
that problem is a memory leak now.
Okay.
So you have to use some tool. I will show you some. There is some tool called JVisual VM. So if you want to detect your memory leak, then what you need to do is, see, these are the graphs, and these graphs will tell you how your
Mm-hmm.
memory is increasing. You know, you will keep on saying your heap memory is keep on increasing, and it will be reaching to the 100%. Look at this. The application is
Mm-hmm.
started from this memory, and after that it is keep on increasing. Why? Because your map is keep on filling by the I, all values. Look at this
Mm-hmm.
problem. This is also one of the memory leak problem. It started from the 20 MB and it is keep on increasing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you can argue Java is a auto memory management. Why not it's gonna be garbage collected? Garbage collection. Garbage collection cannot be applied on a class level variable. It is one of the global variable. Understanding or not? So it means that whatever variable you are defining in a class scope, that will never garbage collected until or unless this manager one class is going to be removed
Deleted.
or your JVM is going to be shut down. So how can you avoid this problem? The quickest solution to avoid memory leakage is just restart your application. But after some time again, it will be the same problem. But yes, the moment you kill your JVM, the whole map will be cleaned. But
Mm-hmm.
till now your application is running, there is no chance this map can be garbage collected. Now, what we can do is, instead of this, let's copy this and come to here. Public void test, put it here, take your map from here, and now put this here. This is perfect. Because this is a local variable. Till now, this test method is executing. In fact, it is also not perfect, I can say, because there's an infinite while loop. But
Mm-hmm.
usually people are saying do not have a global variable. The reason is this only. If you have a global variable, it will be not be garbage collected. And if it is not garbage collected, your memory leak problem is always there. But with this map, the moment test method execution is done, your map will be reset. It will be automatically garbage collected because there is no use of this map now. Getting the point or not?
Yes. Yes.
Local variables is always going to be automatically garbage collected because test method execution is complete, map is cleaned. But this map never be cleaned until or unless your program is running. So if you go to the articles and all, you type the best programming practice, something like that, best programming practices. So you will see one of the point, do not use your global variable. You must read these kinds of articles, or
Mm-hmm.
it will give you a lot of. Why global variables are bad. See, lots of people are talking about it. They have given lots of examples. The problem with global
Mm-hmm.
variables is that it's very function access these. It becomes increasingly hard to figure out which functions actually read and write these variables. Lots of problem are there. So people are saying do not use
Mm-hmm.
global variable. No global variables rule. Yes. So so I was coming to this IOC and I was saying that the most of the problem is with the memory, your application performance. So Spring people thought, let's have a very good auto memory management kinds of things. And what when the problem comes because of object, because you are in Java, and in Java everything is object. Actually, it is your object, right? This map is your object, right? You are defining a new hash map. So whenever you are using a new, it means it is one of the object, right? If I write
Mhm.
manager one equal to manager new manager one, I'm defining an object. And this object management is a problem, basically. When memory leak is happening because people are not doing the proper management of their object. So Spring people thought, if we handle the object creation part properly, it means whenever object is required, it will be created. Whenever it is not required, it will be automatically garbage collected. I will not allow my user to create the object something like this. They will not allow you. They will tell you, do not use new keyword. So the main funda of IOC is, do not create your object, rather than ask the IOC framework, Spring IOC module, hey, please create a object for the employee. Please create the object for address. And the complete life cycle of this project is going to be maintained by the Spring framework. So IOC is one of the container. Just imagine it is a container. Whatever object you need in your application, it will keep that object inside the container. Somebody is looking for that object, it will give the object from that container, and again it will be submitted to the container. So if you not create an object inside your application, your 90% problem is solved, because Spring people know that how to manage the life cycle of any project, when to garbage collect it, when to create, and that makes the Spring framework more popular. Okay, so
Mhm.
IOC is solving a major problem, and that problem is a tight coupling problem. There is a coupling. Have you heard about it? Coupling.
Yes.
Oh, good. There's a two kinds of coupling, right? What is that? Loose coupling and tight coupling. What is loose coupling? Loose coupling in the sense, whenever you need to change or you need to add a small functionality inside your application, you are not going to change the entire code. You are just going to a portion of a code and you are adding that features or that functionality. But when it's a tight coupling, you want to add a small features or a small functionality, your code is going to be changed entirely. That's bad, actually.
Mhm.
So IOC is saying, I will give you loose coupling, not tight coupling. So in IOC, the first things we're gonna learn here is what is tight coupling and what is loose coupling. Okay, I will
Mhm.
give you one a small demonstration about the tight coupling first, then I will come to the loose coupling. Where are you? Coupling. Tick 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 tick. Hmm. It is not there or what? Oh, I was having this. Mhm. Okay, let's see this example. Let's say you got a requirement of developing a area of different geometrical shape. Means somebody saying to you, hey, calculate the calculate the area of circle, calculate the area of rectangle. You thought, okay, so what idea you have taken is you defined you defined one interface called area. It's having a get area method. Then you have a one class called circle class. You just implemented this area, and then after you are just doing the logic of or formula of area circle area calculation. Somebody saying rectangle, okay, same way you implement with the area, and then this rectangle is going to give the area of rectangle class. Okay, what is tight coupling now then? Think about this process. Whenever somebody has added a square, circle is fine, rectangle is fine, but somebody is saying to you, hey, I want to add a square also. So if you look at this example, if I run it, it is asking me enter the entity. If I give circle, then it is creating a circle object and calling the get area method. After running this, it will ask me give me the entity. If I give a square, then it is creating a square object and blah blah. Let's say somebody is saying to you, create a new class. I want the area of polygon. So there is a class called polygon. Okay, polygon is also going to do the same job. It is going to implement with area interface. What happened? Why area is not coming?
It's inside another folder.
Oh, it's went in inside other folder. But still it should pick up. Uh-huh. Anyway, let me delete this. I don't know why Eclipse is not responding to this. Go to com, right click on this, create a class, polygon, and then implements with the, oh, there's something wrong. Again, it's going to the com.nic package. Suddenly, how?
Mm.
In fact, this polygon should be a part of, looks like SRC. Polygon implements with area. What is happening? Seriously, I don't know.
Mm. It's inside the Nick package. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So now here again, I'm gonna write area of polygon. Okay. So that's pretty simple. But think about that. The moment you added a new entity, your work supposed to be stopped here only. But no, since you have added the new entity, you also have to modify the existing code. Now, what you need to do? You have to go to your main logic. Now add here polygon, create a polygon object, and then from the polygon object, you call the area. So what problem you see in here? Based upon the entity you added, you are also modifying the existing code. That is bad. That is actually bad. So this is called tight coupling. You understood this problem?
Yes.
The moment I added a new SIP, I have to modify the existing code base. And that's called tight coupling. How can we solve with this with a loose coupling? Loose coupling is saying, even though you added polygon, you don't need to actually modify the existing code. Come to this part. What happened now? Whenever you added a new entity, you're just going to, rather than creating an object and then calling their method, you define one common method. This code is static. It's not going to change. Rather than, I will just say new polygon. I didn't modify the logic of get area calling. Can you see that? This code is still common. While calling itself, I'm passing object. So if you look at the difference between tight coupling and loose coupling, then the only one thing you will found in loose coupling, I am passing an object. Here you are creating an object in tight coupling and then calling the get area. If you look at this code is repeated. Get area call there also, here also, here also, here also. And if you add the many entity, you have to do the same job. But in the case of loose coupling, rather than modifying this existing get area call, this common method is saying, okay, pass me the object, whatever you want. I will call the get area method of that class. So let's run this. After running this, it will ask me enter the entity. So I told rect, rectangle area is coming. If I run it and I will give polygon, area of polygon, right? So based upon the entity you are passing, it is checking with all the if, else if, and then after based upon that entity, it is creating an object, and then after it is calling a get area method. Other side, you have a loose coupling. So in loose coupling, since you are calling a two rectangle and polygon, this method is knowing first time I got a rectangle object, so I need to call the get area of rectangle. Second time I got a polygon object, so I have to call the get area of polygon. So that is the IOC. IOC is going to give you the object like this. They will tell you, you don't need to create an object. I have an object for you. Don't create object on demand. So what we are doing, these objects are going to be created on demand. And because of that, it is going to be a tight couple. These objects are not, if you use new keyword inside the Spring framework, then the object which is created, it is not going to be maintained by Spring framework. I mean, the life cycle of that object will not be maintained by Spring framework. Spring is saying, you don't need to create your object. Whatever object you want to create, tell me, I will create your object for you. And whenever you need it, I will give you that. And because of that, your code becomes completely loose coupling. Even though you're adding a new object, no need to modify the other piece of your code. We'll talk about in the iOS example, then probably we'll understand in much better way. Let's come to the, did you understand the loose coupling and tight coupling? It's a very important, Sana.
Yes, yes, I did understand it. In IOC, we will also remove for the function common new rectangle, we will not have new rectangle.
Yes, in IOC we don't have a new object creation anywhere. But yes, from the annotation point of view, yes, it is required. But I will talk about it why it is there. But yes, initial days when was XML, there was no new keyword. Similarly, let's take another example here. You want to travel. You want to take a journey. You have a bike.java. You can go by bike. You can go by bus. You can go by car. And now you have a journey class. Now in journey class, it is a tight coupling because you are creating a bike object. So whenever you are starting a journey, it becomes now problem for you. It will always start with the bike. But what we want, we have a three option. So I need to decide while preparing a journey whether I'm going by bike, car, or bus. But if you do like this, then there is a problem. It is a tight coupling problem because you are creating an object inside the start journey. So even though you have a mood of going by car, you cannot go because you have already defined your object in the start journey saying that always by bike. How can we make this loose couple? Just make it interface, and then after, what you need to do is pass the object. If you pass car object, you will be start going by car. If you pass the bus object, you will be start going by bus. So then it becomes the completely loose coupled. Got the point or not?
Yes.
Yes. So the
Yes.
client is going to call like this way. But along with this, if I pass bus object, my journey class will understand, okay, bus has came, so I have to start by bus now. But since in this example, I have not taken the loose coupled, I just want you to complete this loose couple. It's a homework for you. This
Yes. Okay.
example is going to be converted into loose couple. How I have did the area wala. Similarly, I want you, whenever I am starting a journey, then you need to pass a object and your journey class will understand, okay, since bus came, so I will be starting by bus. So this whole example is available over my Git. So if you go to Spring Framework, shine in. Repo, Niket 24, Spring Core IOC. So if you go to down, you will see a tight couple example. Yeah, whatever we have discussed right now, this example is already there. So I gonna share you this repository link. You
Thank you.
please uh, follow this in the chat window. I send you this.
Thank you.
Okay. So if you understand this problem, then it will be a overexcitement and interest for you to understand the IOC, how IOC is solving this problem. Anyway, let's close this. We can continue, Sana, right? What is the time in your country right now?
It's 4 a.m.
Ah, when you will sleep, by the way?
I can stay until 4:30.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
I can stay more until 4:30.
Oh, and what time you have to go to office?
9.
9.
We are still working from home.
Okay. Oh, I got the point. So 9 o'clock onwards, you have to start your. So before my class, have you slept or not?
No.
Oh my God. Sana, I can understand, what a hard work girl you are. So you want to continue or you want to practice and grab all these concepts and we can continue in the next class?
Okay. Can we have the next class tomorrow? So um, I can practice the 2 sessions also in the weekends.
Yeah, why not?
Or
Why not?
uh,
Yes, tomorrow we
uh,
have a class.
okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. So yes, tomorrow also the same time. You are comfortable with this
Uh,
time, right? Or you want to change the time? Because
yes. For the moment, I am comfortable. Yeah.
great, great. So just try to understand the Spring framework, and this document is also available in that. So whatever theory we have talked about it, if you go down, you will see this is Spring Docs.
Okay.
So you just need to download it, and you will be able to
Mhm,
see the whole things. And tomorrow class we will be talking about the first hello world programming in IOC
mhm,
and the other concepts. Okay.
mhm. Okay. Sounds perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
I will share you the recording as well.